Who had the funniest roast of Kevin Hart? Instead of watching the entire special, we've compiled every comedian's set into one video, featuring Shane Gillis, Jeff Ross, Pete Davidson, Chelsea Handler, Tony Hinchcliffe, Cheryl Underwood, and Katt Williams. You'll get to watch every roast back to back. Pick your favorite and let us know in the comments who absolutely stole the show. Let's get started.
If you're thinking this is just going to be a bunch of jokes about you being short and annoying, that's true. We will be doing that. But we're also going to be talking about how you're a shitty comedian, a star fucker, and an absentee father. Poor Kevin. And speaking of black men who once made an impact years ago, Kevin Hart. Here's a fun fact about Kevin. Kevin has a 44-inch vertical leap. And I know that because he can kiss his wife on the lips. Being 5'1" sucks, but at least you can tell him apart from all the other blacks. When you see Kevin stand next to all his normal-sized black friends, he looks like the period at the end of a sentence. To really understand Kevin's origins, you have to go back to the beginning. Kevin's ancestors came to America in a slave ship in a bottle. He grew up in Philadelphia, where his mother worked at the University of Pennsylvania, and his father was one of the California Raisins. He wasn't raising anybody. Kevin's dad wasn't there for him because he was addicted to cocaine, which is a lot more respectable than not being there for your kids because you're filming fucking Jumanji 3. That's pathetic. A lot of people say Kevin's movies are formulaic. Yeah, baby formula. And every time you put one of Kevin's movies on, you say to yourself, I see where this is staying. Kevin got a DUI. Isn't that funny? Just a little tiny DUI, his feet barely reaching the pedals. It's a cute DUI. He wrapped this micro machine around a dandelion. Years later, when he got fired from the Oscars for homophobia, they found an old tweet of his where he said if his son was gay, he would break a dollhouse over his head. I know, that's crazy. He used to be funny. How about that? That was really funny. That was so long ago. After that, after he got fired for being homophobic, he went on an apology tour. We had to go around and do interviews and shit. And in one of the interviews, he said, "I'm in love with the man I'm becoming." Gay? Fucking homo, dude. I'm gonna break a dollhouse over his head after that fucking shit. I guess one of the reasons no one can afford a house in America these days is because Kevin keeps breaking them over his son's fucking head. Kevin actually did really well in Saudi Arabia, but only because they thought he was the monkey from Aladdin. Abu. They were thinking about Abu. Abu, which is actually coincidentally what Kevin hears every time he puts out one of his dog shit specials. Abu. I've got a nice PG short joke that I'd like you guys to be a part of, okay? Kevin is so short. Kevin's so short that they're gonna have to lynch him from a bonsai tree.
Kevin Hart, friends a long time, but the world first fell in love with you when Michael Jackson dangled you over that balcony. Tonight, live all over the world, we celebrate the crack baby that could. The preemie with a dreamy. The man who put the elf in Philadelphia. The great Eddie Smurfy. Kev, those mic drops aren't as cool when you're dropping them from 2 feet, right? Yeah, tonight I dress like your idol Eddie Murphy because he's not coming. Your idol doesn't give a fuck about you, Kevin. What a story. What a story. Your dad was a street hustler and addicted to crack cocaine. So I guess being dependent on the rock runs in the family. Kevin, I know your dad walked out on you, and then I went to see one of your movies, and then I walked out on you. Maybe you're spending too much time in the gym working out. It's arm day, it's leg day. When is it script day? Do you even read these pieces of shit before you say yes? Come on, spell Jumanji. Sure, Kevin went to a Diddy party. So what? They just locked him in a room and put Paw Patrol on his iPad. Kevin always flies private. What a waste of leg room. Yes, Kev, people mock you for being short. But you know who else was short? Prince. Prince was 5'2". We just don't talk about it a lot because Prince was great. But you, Kev, you're not just an entertainer, you're a brand. You're like Martha Stewart, but without the respect of the black community.
The first time I met Kevin was almost 20 years ago, and I remember thinking, what is 50 Cent's dick doing walking around all by itself? People think Kevin was discovered during one of The Rock's colonoscopies, but that's not true. I was actually one of the very few people, very first people, that gave Kevin a platform for his comedy when I gave him a weekly spot on Chelsea Lately. And I had no idea when I did this that we would be subjected to 3 Jumanjis, 2 ride-alongs, 2 diehards, endless amounts of heart-to-hearts, and whatever make-a-wish situation you have going on with the plastic fucking cup boys. So first, I'm here to apologize. And second, I'm here to do something we don't see white people do enough of in Hollywood. Take credit for a black person's career. Your favorite leaders making the draft mandatory, I assume that all of you will be signing up to go fight in Iran. Or do you tough-talking pussies only go to the Middle East for comedy festivals? Tony and Shane, this must be so exciting for you guys. Usually on Sunday nights, you just burn a cross on someone's lawn. And tonight you get to roast a whole black guy. Well, a half of one, because it's Kevin. Kevin had a DUI in 2013 and then had a little dipsy doodle off Mulholland in 2019. And then had the nerve to call one of his movies Ride Along. Even Tiger Woods is like, no thanks, I'll walk. Kevin's tequila is called Gran Coramino, which is Spanish for Eddie Murphy said, fuck no. It's the only tequila brand in the world where if you want to swallow a tiny, shriveled up little worm, Kevin will personally drive to your house and face fuck you. The only time he ever said anything sexual was when he was shit-faced at one of the Chelsea Lately rap parties, and he was like, Jesse, you fucked the wrong black guy. You fucked the wrong black guy. And I thought that was so cute that you thought there was only one. But the worst thing about Kevin is if you do Kevin one favor, he will never stop asking you to do him more favors. And the reason people say yes is because it's the only way to get you to shut the fuck up. And somehow you seem to think that you're the greatest negotiator, the best is what you say. And I would like to let everyone here know that the most recent favor Kevin asked me to do for him was to film his TV show, Funny AF, which is a very gay name, by the way. It ended up being a great show. You're right, it is a good show. But I was in Mallorca at the time, like any other rich white woman would be. So after I said no to Kevin for the 11th time, Kevin chartered a private plane for me and my entire family to fly from Spain to Los Angeles. Except here's the truth, my family was never with me, Kevin. I just said that to get you to leave me alone, so you chartered a 16-seat Gulfstream for me and my dog. So I would like to correct the record from best negotiator to huge fucking idiot.
All right, wow. Cheryl isn't smiling. She's just unhinging her jaw so she could swallow Kevin whole. What can you say about Kevin that hasn't already been yelled out by a guy with Tourette's at the BAFTAs? Kevin looks like Draymond's Funko Pop. You know, I get lumped in a lot with Kevin because we both performed at the Riyadh Comedy Festival. But the difference is, Kevin went to Saudi Arabia for a day's work. Well, I've been owed that money since I was 7. Yes, thank you.
One more time for Shane Gillis. He looks like the type of slave owner that you can trick into buying Kevin Hart.
He'll get bigger, right?
If Kevin was a slave, his song would be, "Let my people grow." Kevin Hart is trying to fill Tom Brady's shoes, a lot of extra space. That's like Pete Davidson's dick trying to fill Kim Kardashian's vagina. Kevin Hart, ladies and gentlemen. He was born 9 months after his father spit a watermelon seed into his mother's vagina. Yep, I did that. And then he was born 9 pounds, 7 ounces, and he remains the same today. Kevin is so small, people call him the lowercase N-word. He was raised by a single mother and a stepladder. Because of Kevin's awful childhood and feelings of inadequacy, he became a workaholic to distract himself from the grief of who he is on the inside. And to make matters worse, his inner child is taller than him. But look at him now. Oh, you're not wearing a chain. I was gonna say nice chain, Kevin. It would make a great bracelet for a normal-sized black man. But you didn't wear the normal chain that you wear to overcompensate for how small you are. Kevin has so few black friends that he started a vegan fast food chain and nobody stopped him. His vegan restaurant is like his movies, because you don't have to go to know it fucking sucks. Kevin, in a town full of successful pedophiles, it's great to know that you are not one, but in fairness, if you ever tried, any fuckable 10-year-old would beat the living shit out of you. His audience is so ghetto that his merch table has more gunfire than Charlie Kirk's. Kevin, if you're here, who's holding P. Diddy's pocket in jail? Kevin has been so far up The Rock's ass that he can actually smell what he's been cooking. The Rock played Black Adam. Kevin is the size of a black atom. He's won 2 Grammys, at least that's what the scale says when he stands on it. You know, Kevin, they told me not to mention your kids on this roast, but I must say, you did good. They've gotten so big, they now buckle Kevin up in the car seat. It's true, he lost his gig hosting the Academy Awards because of some homophobic tweets, but you'd be homophobic too if you were eye level with everyone's cock. He got into a fist fight on a private plane, proof that no matter how much money black people have, they're still just gonna act like ninjas. Always fighting. Like Bill Cosby, Hart is a black comedian from Philadelphia, and like Bill Cosby, women don't know when Kevin is inside of them. You've done good though, Kevin. The black community is so proud of you. Right now, George Floyd is looking up at us all, laughing so hard that he can't breathe.
The fact that you white boy comics want to say all the words that black comics get canceled for saying. And I'm glad that y'all brought back words like midget and retard. No, Kevin, I'm not talking about you when I say midget. But yes, Shane, I'm talking about you when I say retard. I would fuck you, Draymond, but I'm afraid of heights. I'm only 5'2", but I'm still 2 inches taller than Kevin Hart. You Mighty Mouse motherfucker. They wrote that. Kevin and I hooked up once, before he got married. Before he got married. He got stuck in my pussy. I tied a rope around his neck and pulled him out like a tampon. Hold on. That's not in the prompter. I'm sorry. Kevin Hart is packing. Kevin Hart is packing. He's packing 10 inches in his pants. There is legs, but it's still 10 inches. Fucking Kevin was a lot like watching his movies. The first 5 minutes are okay, then you're just waiting for it to be over. You think he's loud in his movies? When we were fucking, he was hollering and screaming and shaking. I said, will you shut the fuck up before somebody think I'm watching one of your movies?
Hello, Kevin.
Hello, Katt.
Very humble of me to be at your goat roast tonight, Kevin. I've won an Emmy Award, but this is gonna be my best acting tonight as I pretend like you are a goat. Kevin, you're gonna hear some things tonight that you're not familiar with. Those things are called punchlines. For those of you just joining us, Kevin and I have beef, and I'll tell you why. Because privately, this motherfucker stole everything from me. Before he saw my act, he was a 6'3" white man. I tried to tell y'all that Kevin Hart was a plant, because I keep burying him, he keeps springing back the fuck up. Just like a plant. Yes, I said some things I'd like to take back. Some things I said were misunderstood. I did say that Kevin was a Hollywood puppet, and I want to explain that, because it might not be what you think. I meant that the head of Netflix literally has his whole hand up Kevin's ass and can make him do anything. Kevin only has one rule in his movies, no N-word, and that N-word is no. It's Never fucking said it, never. Scary Movie 3, Ride Along, Night School, Get Hard. I turned down all of them because I was not comfortable being a coon. Went right behind me for the same price. If you're going to see a Kevin Hart movie, do yourself a favor, see it in a black theater so you can hear words like, I want my motherfucking money back. And I want my money back too. Even The Rock can't save your ass. Kevin and The Rock have what you call a bromance. That's when two actors secretly fuck the shit out of each other. But seriously, how can you not love Kevin? Only two people have done that, me and his father. Kevin once said if his son was gay, he would take a dollhouse and hit him over the head with it, which is arguably the gayest way to abuse a child. But you cannot cancel Kevin Hart. Just can't do it. He's made of Teflon. They tried to cancel him for being homophobic, and I don't get it. I'm saying the guy who's obsessed with shopping sprees and fitness, always surrounded by 10 dudes and Chelsea Handler and oiled up half Samoan bodybuilders and a vegan restaurant and bought yoga pants. You think that guy is homophobic? That guy is a fairy, bitch. He is not. That's the gayest man I ever met. You slay queen. You do that. They hurled allegations at him. But thanks to all the baby oil, the charges didn't stick. Kevin famously was at a brunch. Kevin was at a bunch of Diddy parties, but in his defense, it was only because Diddy thought he was 10. Kevin even hosted a record release party for P. Diddy. There was a record number of releases. On the bed, in the pool, on the floor, everywhere but the hose. Just because Kevin went to Diddy parties does not mean he did something wrong. The fact that he gets all quiet when you bring it up, that means he did something wrong. Kevin, I have an idea for a movie where you travel back in time and Mark Twain takes his motherfucking award back and calls you the N-word. Now that's a good movie, so I know you'll pass on it. I could go on all night hating on Kevin Hart. I have perfected it. But at some point, you've got to look yourself in the mirror and say, do I really want to have beef with the rabbit Snowball from The Secret Life of Pets 2? Yes, I do, Kevin. Yes, I do. Motherfucker wouldn't even play a black rabbit. Can you imagine the coonery? I'm out. Good night, Inglewood. Thank y'all so much.